Hello, so I'm Natasha von Imhof, Senator from District L, and this is the last video in my video newsletter series. So to recap, things are moving steady here in Juneau. We are holding budget subcommittees and other committee hearings every day, as well as working through philosophical differences on spending. There are many decisions the legislature needs to make, and many will affect the permanent fund, our nest egg. These are topics that I've discussed in the previous video newsletters. If you've missed those videos, please feel free to go back to my Senate Facebook page or Natasha von Imhof Senate Legislative page and watch. In this video, I'd like to talk about real solutions that will work for Alaska over the long term. We want our kids and grandkids to have the opportunities to find jobs and raise their families here in this great state. So spring is coming and it is time for renewal, a fresh look at opportunities, and to determine what solutions will move Alaska forward. How can we focus our limited state resources so that we can do the greatest good for the greatest number of people? The state must use our finite revenues to provide good quality education to our children, make sure Alaskans are safe, provide access to health care, and provide jobs through building roads and other state projects. When done well and done strategically, we can accomplish these goals. So my priorities this session include 3 elements to provide a real path forward. These include a new PFD calculation, an effectual spending cap, and investment in our economy. First, we need to change the calculation of the permanent fund dividend so it will stop dominating all budget talks year after year. So this goes back to my 3rd video where I talk about the philosophical differences in spending. We have to look at the math and not the politics in order to make good decisions for Alaska's future. The current calculation is just not sustainable, and it is out of line with our current fiscal revenue. Just like other laws that need to be reviewed and changed over time, it's been 40 years and it's time to update it. If we set the calculation so it's affordable well into the future, there will be dividends for many, many generations to come. So there are many options and ideas out there. I'd like to consider one of these. Rewrite the statutory formula to be 100% of the oil royalties deposited into the permanent fund each year. For the last 6 years, that amount has been somewhere between $250 million to $350 million. That is something the state can afford over time. Another option could be to carve out a new dividend endowment fund, separate from the permanent fund, created from all the unpaid dividends from the past 5 years. A fund like this would grow over time, and so would the dividend. This would also protect the original permanent fund, Alaska's nest egg. Second, we need to pass a statutory spending cap that includes the dividend underneath it. When all spending is under the cap, we can control the growth of the budget during the years of higher revenues. This will force the legislature to continue downward pressure and keep funding at sustainable and predictable levels, and remove the temptation or ability to overspend. And we all know any new revenues do tempt the legislature to increase the budget, and we've seen this again and again. Third, our long-term goal should be to stimulate the economy the right way. To do this, we should decrease regulations where it makes sense, so our state is a good place for businesses to invest and employ Alaskans. Second, we can maintain a stable tax structure for all industries to help attract and maintain businesses over time. And 3, use our finite state funds for strategic investments like roads and utilities to access resources and connect communities, expand renewable energy projects, modernize ports, and expand broadband in rural Alaska. This would create thousands of year-round jobs so Alaskans can put down roots and raise their families. I believe this blueprint will inspire confidence that Alaska is a good place for families to live, work, and raise their children, for businesses to invest for the long term, and to ultimately create a strong and thriving economy. Thank you.